So I've been in China for about 7 years. I came here in 2019 September. I did my undergraduate degree here in Nanchang. I moved on to do my master's degree, which I'm doing now. I'm in my third year, my final year of my master's degree. I am quite confident to give my perspective on the kind of things that I love and probably other people are going to love, about living in China.
I know it could have been better. You look so pretty in lies. Big egos live in this castle. Not sure I'm ever surprised. You got me fooling around in all your honesty. Don't think you got the concept right.
Well, first of all, disclaimer, China is a very big country, as you may know. These things that I'm going to share, most of them are constrained to my own city and my own university and my own personal experience. So feel free to disagree. Even if you're living here in China and you have a completely different experience, I guess you may be right. Just because you're right does not mean I'm wrong.
Falling back into you. I thought we'd be smarter. I got nothing left to lose. You said you fall with me. No matter how far it goes, down deep and under. We're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong.
Now, I guess the first thing will be the transportation system. And most of these things to be cliche. The transportation is just so convenient. Like you just saw, I booked the ride and the time it took for the ride to arrive is about 3 minutes. Mostly it's between 2 to 5 minutes. If it is longer than that, then I'm probably canceling the ride because it's too late.
听不懂，我哪听对？
一点都不听懂啊
一点都听不懂。
！Oh my god！
你中文说的蛮可以的，
是可以，一点点，马马虎虎。
在中国待了几年啊
7年差不多。
？7年了。
对。
啊，蛮好的。
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. That's right. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. That's right. For the record, lab on me going all the way. All the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. Stop. For the record. 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 Been a little too nice for y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hate. I won't get a ball today.
So I was watching this YouTube video yesterday of this guy who was giving his review on, like the trains metros in Germany, and he was like, they are always late, anywhere between like 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm into 3 hours, and it's quite normal over there, and it's crazy. I can confidently say that in my 6-7 years over here, 6-7, the metro has never been late, not even once. So
When we soar away among the clouds, the sky.
there are obviously cases where the metro is quite full. I guess for so many people, the idea is that like China is overcrowded and whatnot. Because for me, many of the videos I see, the metros are always filled up. But like you can see, it's quite empty, and it's 12:37 in the afternoon. So it's not always the case. It's different for different cities. Nanchang is the capital of the Jiangxi province, so you would expect it to be quite crowded, and it is sometimes, but it's not always the case.
Set me up like lemonade. We both know it's bittersweet.
地下一通到了 First
The
Basement，
sireness will bite your tongue, knowing it's
电梯下
forever
行
young.
Going down。
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off.
One thing I want to talk about too is that the weather here in Nanchang is known to be extreme in the sense that it's very, very hot in the summer and it's very cold in the winter. But it's not something that I'm really worried about I have a lot of friends who complain about the weather, but like I always say, if it's hot, just wear less clothes. If it's cold, just wear more clothes. If it's rainy, just take your umbrella. So I don't really take that into account. So another thing that is worth mentioning is the hailing bikes that they have. I think they call them the Didi bikes or whatever. So there are the green ones, there are the yellow ones, there are the blue ones over there. These are ideal for situations where you are going a distance that is not too far enough to, get a taxi or the Didi, but also not close enough to walk. Then in that situation, these bikes are quite ideal. Come with me. I haven't eaten all day. It's 1:39 p.m. in the afternoon. I haven't eaten all day, so come with me as I go and grab some lunch.
No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me.
Yo, Rema. Hello. Where are mixed tacos? Mix. 要这个
这个几个？
一个，
一个啊，
对，好，要等几分钟，爸爸？要等几分钟
要等15分钟。
？15分钟。
breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make.
I guess another thing worth talking about is like the people. Like I get asked a lot, how are the people like, and mostly they're asking if there's racism or whatever. And I think I have a hot take in this part. What I think a lot when it comes is that I hardly think about people in groups. So if I should have any bad experience or good experience for that matter, I credit that to the individual, who gave me that experience. So if someone was extremely warm to me, I would hardly say the Chinese people are warm people. I would say that person was warm. And same goes for if someone was just being a complete me. That's the same thing. I'm going to say that person is being, and won't overgeneralize, because like I'm saying, I believe strongly that people are different. And I think most of the problems that we face is because a lot of people have been lumped into the same bucket, and I've just decided not to do that. So, but if I should answer the question more directly, I would say that generally speaking, I've had quite a positive experience with Chinese people, generally speaking. I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he was telling me about how warm a security guy who was at a metro, I think he was taking a train and he didn't have enough power. His phone was dying basically. And he went to the security guy, asked him for, a charger. The guy didn't have one. He actually went to look for a power bank for him, helped him charge it and all of that. So, and I was telling him that, these are the kind of people who restore your faith in people or in the Chinese people. But then you would beat the same security guy. And funny enough, just yesterday, he was telling me about his experience where he took a train and he didn't have his physical passport. So when you're taking a train, you need to use your passport mostly. I mean, all the time, you need to show your passport at, where you enter. And if you don't have your physical passport, you could just use a photo on your phone, a picture of your passport photo page, just show it to them. Then they just enter your passport information into the system. Then they will be able to confirm that you're actually supposed to be on that train. So he was taking the train again and he didn't have his passport. He had actually taken 2 trains already and he was on his 3rd train. And when he was about to enter, the guy asked for his passport. Then he showed the picture on his phone. The guy was like, no, you need your physical passport to enter. And so that was it. And he made a big case out of that. Come and say hi.
Hi.
Then he made a big case out of that. Went to call his boss and all of that. His boss. Then they finally, they were like, oh, it's fine. If he has his passport photo page, he can completely enter. There's nothing wrong. So these are the kind of situations. It just depends on the person that you meet. You can have a completely positive experience or a completely negative experience or somewhere in between. That is just how it is. I guess another question that is also worth talking about is, when people are asking how are people, they are talking about the Chinese people, but what they don't realize most of the time is that you'll be spending much more of your time with international students. At least that has been the experience for me or the people I've seen in the universities that I've been, that is in my undergraduate university and the master's university, that you would most probably be spending more time with other international students than with Chinese people. So it's equally worth asking, how are other international students, even students from, your home country, which is Ghana for my situation. So how are people going to treat you? And I think the positive things, because I'm focusing more on the positive things in this video. So I would say that you get to meet people from different parts of the world. You get to experience different cultures and all of that. And I think something that is worth mentioning is you get to experience your own culture from another person's perspective. And that is very, illuminating. I think there's a quote that says something like, I don't know if it's a quote, but the idea is that you are generally blind to your own culture. And unless you step out, you may not know how your own culture is. And my food is here. Oh, yeah. How does this look? 那你要说什么？
你是主播吗？
不是的，
这个是什么 ？TikTok 吗？
不是，就要拍视频。那你要说什么？
请大家来胡蒙吃 taco。发到哪里去啊？不要发。
要发。
激动。
你好美呀！
一般般啊。
一般般的。那这是什么？
这是我的菜单，来大家看一下，看一下我的菜单。
你们有什么菜啊？
我们有披萨、汉堡、taco 都有的。
那在说英语呢？要什么菜？burger、
披萨、
tacos. But now, when it comes to other international students, I think for the most part, what I have seen, I don't know if it's from just my university, but people keep to their circles. And usually, if you are not in their circle, people act very nonchalant. I don't know what this is, but you would meet someone, say hi, the person's like, mind their own business or whatever, right? And I think for the most part, people have, accustomed to that. It makes no sense to me that you, be an international student, meet other international students from other places, say hi to you, then, it's like the more nonchalant you are, the more you're supposed to command some sort of respect. It's a very stupid idea, if you should ask me. I think one of the most important assets as an international student is to be able to connect with people from very different countries. And we end up coming here and act, kind of bossy. I'm in my own space. No one is supposed to come around. And I've done this for quite a long time. So the scales fell off my eyes in the sense that I was like, this is completely stupid. Why am I doing this? Someone says hi to you, you don't even say hi back. You act all, high and mighty. You use like everyone is beneath you. Then what is the point? It doesn't make any sense. So I think from my experience, that is what I have seen. And if you're not in their circle or recommended by someone in their circle, it will be very difficult to, form any type of deep connections with them. And the other thing is that, people move, things happen, people go back to their countries, people move to other countries. So you have friends that are scattered all around the continents. One more thing to mention is, the cost of living. I think you hear that a lot, that living in China is very cheap, and it is. But it's funny because something just came to my mind that everywhere will be expensive for you if you have zero. So just because it's cheap does not mean you should have zero. It's quite obvious, but China will be very expensive for you if you don't have anything. Anyways, so yeah, it's very, like, things are very, very cheap. I think after you live in China, it's very difficult to live in another country. And I have many friends who have confirmed this because, like, you get so used to buying things at a certain price, and you can't fathom, buying that same thing probably with a less quality, for a very, very high price in another country. So to date, I still have friends who have moved to the US, to Canada, to the UK, even back home to Ghana, who will still contact you like, bro, could you buy this, that, and that, and that, and ship it over? And I will do that for them, because, like, I understand that it's very hard it's almost impossible to, get used to buying things like clothes, shoes, whatever, from here, even software online. It's very difficult to get used to it here and move to another country and be buying it at those prices. One thing that I should also mention, especially for me, as someone who likes to keep to his own space, is it's very quiet, right? It's very quiet. You are most of the time in your own space. This became very clear to me when I went back home last year. It's very noisy back home, right? It's not noisy, but I got used to me being in my own space and no one, coming into my corner and all of that. So I thrive there. So that is something I really like. It's very quiet. As you can feel right now in this restaurant, it's very quiet over here. I'm sort of, just eating my lunch. I have my AirPods in my ears. I listen to my music. After that, if I want to go to the gym, I have my music playing in my head, take my bike and just move to the gym. I'm just in my own world, sort of. So that is also quite the experience. I really love that. So that is all for this video. Thank you very much for sticking with me throughout. This video, I really appreciate it. So if there's something that I missed that you want me to talk about, kindly drop it into the comment section. I will do my best to respond to it and try to make a video about it. And in the next video, I'll be talking about things that I absolutely hate in China. Like, I'll go very in-depth into that. So stay tuned for that.